We're off on the road to Morocco, and somewhere I feel kind of numb. For any villains we may meet, we haven't any fear. Paramount will protect us 'cause we're signed for 5 more years. We certainly do get around like a complete set of Shakespeare that you buy at the corner drugstore for $1.98. We're Morocco bound. Or like a volume of Omar Khayyam that you buy at a department store at Christmas time for your cousin Julia. We're Morocco bound.
Morocco's 4 mountain ranges have been home to the Berbers and their antecedents since the Neolithic. The coastal plain and the lowlands have been occupied by various powers, starting with the Carthaginians and ending with the French. The mountains have always been held by Berber tribes who battle among themselves for control. Occasionally one would give a city and a port to a European power for assistance in suppressing their neighbors. Most of these have been recovered, but Spain still controls Ceuta and Melilla. Tangier itself was under multinational control from 1923 to 1956. Dressed like a traditional water seller for the benefit of tourists. The street salesmen can be pretty young, but they'll take any currency and give you the correct change. The kebabs were tough and hard to handle, but the restaurant had a band to entertain us. The boys with the doorman at our hotel. But if you came on a tour bus, you got a lot more attention. El-Jadida is Arabic for the new. It was a new city built by the Portuguese, but regained by the Moroccans. Now only a photo venue. Rabat is not a particularly interesting city now, but in the 1600s it was the home of some of the Barbary pirates. Actually, if they were British, they would have been called privateers, because a lot of their take went to the government. There was a city on this site for at least 1,000 years. After it was abandoned, the site became a royal cemetery for the next 1,000. Fezabali is a living, working medieval city. Once through the gates into the old city, the narrow streets will not allow motorized transport, so donkeys are used. The mosques are not open to unbelievers, but the religious schools, or madrasas, are. Some are extremely fancy and most are very old. The leather tanning and dyeing area is the most colorful in the city. The smells aren't too bad in the winter. Invariably, your guide will take you to a carpet sales room where he gets a percentage. They will show you two of the carpets. Which do you like, this one or that one? The rejected one is tossed aside. They continue like this through their whole stock. When they've finished, they try to sell you your preferred one. You don't have to buy, but there's always a sucker. In fact, there are two of them now. The area outside the walls is a pleasant contrast. one of the few who would allow himself to be photographed. South of the High Atlas, the main building material is Pisé. It's the same constituency as mud brick. The difference is that it's hammered into forms in place, instead of being shaped into bricks and dried. A kasbah is a fortified house or village. The roads were not great, and it was rather confusing finding your way around, so we rented a car and hired a driver. He invited us to his house for tea. Seated here are his wife on the left, his sister-in-law, his younger daughter, Myrtle, Nadia, the older daughter, and our driver himself.
وسيدي موسى جان قولوا مرحبا سيدي موسى جان وصل الله عليك عدد ما في السماء وعدد ما في الأرض ربي السلامة الله الله ما مراد الله صلى على نبينا عدد ما في السماء وعدد ما في الماء وما موسى أما مريم ما فيني الله 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 ما مراد الله صلى على نبينا وبيا غير بالنعم
We stopped for some reason. When the motor was turned off, we could hear voices of women singing drifting down from the mountain. They were women up there collecting camel thorn, the traditional fuel of the Middle East and North Africa. Perhaps the reason they were singing is that they had donkeys to carry it rather than having to do it the normal way. Most people objected to having their pictures taken for fear of losing their souls. These two Berber girls dropped their baskets and came running to us so they could sell their souls for a few cents. The Atlas Mountains are highly mineralized. Stalls like this are very common all through the pass. Almonds were in blossom on the north side of the pass.